This is Newcap News.
Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. A Saddle Lake First Nation man has been sentenced to more than 7 years in prison after pleading guilty to manslaughter in the death of a teenage boy on Alberta Reserve. Now, 24-year-old Chris Norbert was sentenced yesterday after entering the plea in May. He was arrested after Perry Johnston suffered life-threatening injuries in a fight on the Pigeon Lake Reserve back in 2012. Now, the 17-year-old died in hospital the next day. Norbert was given credit for time already spent in custody, leaving his net sentence at 4.5 years. Well, a routine traffic stop by Lloydminster Police resulted in 2 women being arrested for drug possession. It happened yesterday morning on Highway 16 on the edge of town. Now, police pulled over the driver for speeding and found 23 grams of marijuana in the vehicle. The Edmonton women, ages 25 and 34, will appear in Alberta Provincial Court on October 7th. Well, it's going to be an out-of-this-world event in 3 weeks when retired Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield flies to the border city to speak at Habitat for Humanity's fundraiser. All right, well, Angela McKenzie of Habitat for Humanity says Colonel Chris Hadfield will be talking about his experiences at the International Space Station. And they have sold more than half the tickets, but there are still many available.
Pricing available, so that's $45. Current student ID is required. Our regular tickets are $85. We also offer the VIP package, which is $185, and that includes a meet and greet with the Colonel.
Now, McKenzie adds that they've had a good response to the upcoming event so far. It's also a chance to support the organization.
It's to get our word out about what we're about, and that is creating affordable housing for families in need. And this community, as many communities, there is a real need, and we really want to keep working forward to that.
Proceeds from the event will go to Habitat for Humanity and upcoming housing projects. Now, the event, The Sky's Not the Limit, will be at the Lloyd X grounds on September 17th. You can purchase tickets at the Restore or call Angela or Vivian at 306-825-4611. Well, it's a show you may not be familiar with unless you're a little girl who's into dancing. Angelina Ballerina is a popular cartoon show of a mouse who performs ballet, but now it's more than a show on the screen. It's coming to life. As Annika Notveit reports, Angelina Ballerina is a successful international dance program that's made its way to a studio in Lloydminster.
Absolutely, positively. Watch Angelina Ballerina.
They know her from TV and they love her. The curriculum actually has her voice over on a lot of the music, so she leads them a lot of the time.
Studio director Patti Johnston says it's obvious the students love it.
It's absolutely, positively splendid you came to dance with me today. I just love to dance.
She's a mouse. I like it because I dance a lot.
It helps them to stay focused, but it also teaches them little life lessons, like throughout the stories and things that are told.
Johnston says it's different than a traditional syllabus and is a great starting point for dance students aged 3 to 6.
It grows. It's not a static, we learn this combination and we work on it till it's perfected. It grows and develops.
Over your puppet.
Because, I get to do this.
Oh, that's it.
A piece of pie there.
And she adds it doesn't just teach them ballerina moves, but also keeps their minds active.
Everything's very age appropriate. It's creative, it's challenging, but it challenges their minds in ways that their brains are developing.
There are still spots open for classes this fall. You can find more information at coredynamics.ca. Annika Notveit, Newcap News.
It's been 2 months since the moratorium on the temporary foreign worker program was lifted, and major changes came down. Now, businesses all over Alberta, especially in the Lakeland region, are starting to feel the effects. Fraser Snowden reports.
It's a scene all too familiar for the owner of Pita Pit in Cold Lake and Bonnyville.
I'm working in both locations once again, and I will be working from opening to close hours in my other store commencing next week.
Roxanne Pashniak is running 2 businesses with limited help. Pashniak is feeling the pinch after the federal government made changes to the temporary foreign workers program 2 months ago. She said she lost 2 employees because of the new guidelines and will lose 3 more TFW workers within the year. And it's not just the business that's feeling it.
A rise in the price of the product that we serve. They will probably see more limited hours of service.
Clearly, there's been a lot of concern recently.
This week in Bonnyville, business owners were able to attend a special meeting with Kyle Fawcett, the Minister of Jobs, Skills and Training, to sound off any concerns they had. Fawcett says they hope some dialogue will continue with the feds once a new Alberta Premier is elected.
This will be something that, an issue that the new Premier will be briefed on as a priority, and a strategy will be laid out at that time to heighten the awareness around this issue.
With a number of businesses already facing reduced hours and closures, they're looking at different options and how they can tackle the problem.
Trying to focus our messaging and really get a sense of how best way to convey to the general public and to the policymakers our issues. So whether it be through a lobbyist or some organization that could help us in achieving those ends and means.
Onion, green pepper, mushroom, grilled nice.
Many owners tell Newcap News that within the next 6 months, there could be some major changes to the business landscape in the Lakeland region. In Bonnyville, Fraser Snowden, Newcap News.